Welcome to Tax File. I am your host, Laure Bala Hassan. Today's show promises to be insightful and engaging. We begin with the latest tax news, keeping you informed on key developments. Next, in our Did You Know segment, we share fascinating tax facts and tidbits. We then move to our Vox Pop segment, where we hear directly from you, our audience. This is followed by the Knowledge Zone, where we take a deeper dive into your perspectives and opinion. Up next is Professional Insights, where experts provide us with valuable information on today's topic. Finally, in our What's on the Net segment, we respond to your questions and comments on our social media platforms. Stay tuned for an enlightening episode. And now, the news. In a move aimed at fortifying Nigeria's revenue system, the executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zak Adedeji, hosted members of the Internal Revenue Monitoring Committee, IRMC, a subcommittee of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, at the FIRS headquarters in Abuja. Aisha Abdulkader, who covered the meeting, now reports.
During the engagement, Dr. Adedeji underscored the importance of strategic collaboration between both institutions to enhance Nigeria's revenue architecture, emphasizing the need for a coordinated approach to drive efficiency and sustainability in revenue collection.
Today's visit is particularly significant as it presents an opportunity for both institutions to reflect on our shared progress, identify areas for improvement, and chart a way forward toward even more impactful collaboration. As Nigeria seeks to diversify its revenue source and reduce its dependence on oil, the role of the service and RAMFA become even more critical. It is against this backdrop that we welcome this engagement, not just as a cost but as a strategic dialogue aimed at strengthening our institutional partnership.
As part of this initiative, Dr. Adedeji inaugurated the FIRS Sub-Technical Committee, which comprises representatives from both RMAFC and the FIRS management team. The committee is expected to foster deeper technical cooperation, streamline revenue processes, and propel key revenue initiatives. This effort aligns with broader objectives of revenue reform and national fiscal sustainability, reinforcing the commitment of both institutions to enhancing Nigeria's economic framework through effective revenue mobilization.
The federal government aims to generate up to $3 billion in monthly revenue through a technology-driven tax system, part of President Bola Tinubu's fiscal reforms. The initiative seeks to modernize tax infrastructure, reduce oil dependency, and foster economic sustainability. Ejura Etu Okpanachi now reports.
At the 27th Annual Tax Conference of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN in Abuja, officials and experts emphasized taxation as a tool for national development. Minister of State for Finance, Doris Uzoka Anite, highlighted efforts to enhance compliance using technology and data analytics. She cited the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, established in 2023, as instrumental in expanding the tax base and aligning fiscal policies with developmental goals. The federal government plans to implement a progressive tax regime in 2025, including an 800,000 naira tax-free income threshold to ease pressure on low-income earners.
In a move to strengthen Nigeria's tax system through digital innovation, the executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Zak Adedeji, hosted Sir Kenneth Olisa. The chairman of InterSwitch Group, along with Mr. Michel Elegbe, Group Managing Director, CEO of InterSwitch, during a courtesy visit to FIRS headquarters. Evelyn Shija has that report.
The meeting centered on leveraging financial technology to streamline tax collection enhance compliance, and improve transparency in revenue administration. Dr. Adedeji emphasized the critical role of digital solutions in modernizing Nigeria's tax infrastructure and fostering a more inclusive and efficient system. Sir Kenneth Olisa commended FIRS's ongoing commitment to innovation and expressed confidence in the potential of fintech-driven tax processes to enhance economic growth. Mr. Elegbe reinforced InterSwitch's dedication to collaborating with government agencies in advancing digital solutions for national development. As Nigeria continues to transition towards a technology-driven tax system, such high-level engagements underscore the importance of public-private partnerships in achieving fiscal efficiency and transparency. This latest discussion further highlights FIRS's commitment to driving economic reform through digital transformation, ensuring tax administration is seamless, secure, and accessible to all Nigerians.
And that concludes the news. Let's join Mariam on the Vox Pop segment.
Hello and welcome to this segment of the program. My name is Mariam Julie Adura. Today we're on the streets of Garki in Abuja to find out the functions of the Tax Appeal Tribunal.
The Tax Appeal Tribunal basically is the first step for legal action for a taxpayer or FIRS, whichever the case is. When there's a tax dispute between the tax authority and the taxpayer, after other issues I've gone through and take a legal action, the first step is to go to the Tax Appeal Tribunal. From there, the decision is made. Where there's no favorable decision for whichever party, they can take it from there and move forward to the High Court, then to the Appeal Court and Supreme Court. That's what it is.
Okay, the role of the Tax Appeal Tribunal is to come when there is a dispute with a taxpayer's judgment. If the taxpayer is not satisfied with whatever FIRS has given to him or the company, then the taxpayer takes the case to the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and then they settle the disputes there. That's the major work of the Tax Appeal Tribunal, to judge the dispute between the taxpayers and the tax administrators.
So we want to find out what the functions of the Tax Appeal Tribunal are.
The Tax Appeal Tribunal, majorly its function is to advocate on all tax disputes arising from the operation of the various tax laws that we have in Nigeria.
Okay, so can you break it down?
Yes, essentially, when I say tax dispute, when the FIRS, for instance, have established liability against the taxpayers and the taxpayer have objected to it, and the service still feels that assessment is final and conclusive, the taxpayer has the right to take the matter to tribunal. And when you take it to tribunal, the tribunal will now sit over the case and look at the merits of the case to determine whether FIRS position is valid or the taxpayer has the right, and they can review the process to know whether the liability so established should be paid or should be reviewed further.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your
All
time.
right.
Did you know that the Tax Appeal Tribunal, TAT, was set up to provide a fair and independent platform for resolving tax-related disputes? Visit any Tax Appeal Tribunal office or website for more information.
Ashu Abe takes us on the Knowledge Zone.
Hello and welcome to Knowledge Zone, where we give more insight into conversations had on the streets earlier. I'm your host, Ashu Abe. In this episode, we'll be talking about Tax Appeal Tribunal. The Tax Appeal Tribunal, TAT in Nigeria, is a tax dispute resolution center established under Section 59, Subsection 1 of the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act of 2007. As part of the ongoing reforms of the tax system in Nigeria, TAT was set up by the federal government to adjudicate on all tax disputes arising from operations of various tax laws as spelled out in the FIRS Establishment Act of 2007. Please note, the first schedule of the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act of 2007 grants the tribunal extended authority over laws related to tax collection. This includes taxes, fees, and levies collected by other government agencies and companies, such as fees from the oil industry. The tribunal also has the power to handle cases related to any future tax laws enacted by the National Assembly and regulations that support the laws. Additionally, the tribunal oversees tax matters within the Federal Capital Territory, covering any duties assigned to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Over to you, Lore.
And now to our professional insight segment.
As the Director of Communication and Liaison Department, my task is simply to project proactively the positive image of the service, close coordination with both internal and external stakeholders as a means of building confidence in the tax system to achieve corporate goals. And the way it contributes to the mandate of the service is that, like you know, communication is multi-dimensional, and the purpose is to educate, to entertain, and to inform the public. And so in doing so, in relation to taxpayers, when we educate and inform them, we create awareness about compliance methodology, about tax payment processes, and all of this aggregate to contributing to the mandate of the service, which is to assess, account, and remit revenue due to the Federation. In that regard, we employ multi-channel communication to reach out to the public. We are living in a jet age, in the age of technology. So we employ every technological tool, such as the social media, the traditional media, the electronic media, to reach out to the public. Every action, every pronouncement of the executive chairman, we interpret and then make it available to the public in a way that the taxpayer out there will understand his or her obligation and then be willing to or voluntary to pay his or her due tax. Tax matters are very sensitive matters, and they require communication in a very simple language that an ordinary Nigerian, ordinary citizen will understand. We publish quarterly collection of the service on our website for the general public to view, to use, to interpret for the understanding of the citizens. We also publish public notices about the policy direction of the service in terms of how tax laws are changing, in terms of how the management of the service craft or formulate policies that affect the taxpayers out there. And so we ensure that the policy direction, the action of the management is put out there for the understanding of the taxpayers. Thankfully, the current executive chairman is a very proactive and innovative chairman. He has introduced a series of reforms. Part of this reform is the introduction of technological integration. And in the department, we intend to use some technological applications such as Hootsuite, Talk Worker, in a way to monitor what the general public is thinking about or is saying about the service, about the reforms that the executive chairman is introducing, and how impactful these reforms have been or are to the economy. And so YouTube, Instagram, social media like Facebook and the likes, we aggregate all of this to the advantage of the service in a way that will make communication very seamless and simple to the general public. A lot of misunderstanding is out there about the work that the FRS does. People believe that since FRS collects tax, FRS should be the one to provide social amenities, to do all the developmental projects. But we are trying to shape the understanding of Nigerians to the fact that the mandate of the service is to assess, to collect, and to remit the taxes to the coffers of the government. And these taxes are pooled in an account, which is then disbursed by FAC. FAC is a constitution of the finance committees of all the state governments and the Federal Minister of Finance, where these taxes are disbursed to all the tiers of government for onward developmental projects. And so we intermittently engage in public survey. We do perception survey. We have done it in 2022, and it's done every 4 years. And so we also do taxpayer survey quarterly to gauge the pulse of the taxpayers about the services, the e-services that we provide, such as the Tax Pro Max, such as the e-invoicing, such as the TCC and the likes. So when we undertake this survey, we analyze the feedback, and then whatever gray areas that there are, we escalate to management for proper action. You know, when the executive chairman assumed office, little was known about him in the public space, more so in relation to the issue of taxation. So in the department, we also undertake reputation management. And in managing reputation, you start with the headship of an organization. Let the public understand his ideology, his vision, and what program he has for such an organization. So I wrote an article in that regard, which I titled Zak Adedeji's Principles of Taxation, a Pathway to Nigeria's Economic Growth. That is to situate his ideology in the context that Nigerians will understand the task that he has come to do in FRS. And subsequently, in relation to the 4 bills that were sent to the National Assembly, I also did an article on how, when the northern part was misunderstanding or misconstruing the essence of the tax bills. And I specifically targeted the article to that misunderstanding, so that to address some of the misgivings that the region had. And thankfully, they came to understand the essence of the bills. And then when the public hearing was called, they reshaped their approach to the tax bills. And after the public hearing was concluded, I also did an article again detailing the verdict of Nigerians arising from the public hearing. So this, in a way, is a campaign to get the public to buy into the tax bills, which are essential to the economic growth of this country. We have been consistent with our messaging. The executive chairman has said that the federal government is not interested in taxing poverty, is interested in taxing prosperity. So we have put this message out there, and then we are following it up with the policies, with actions, with programs that support this idea. So that's how to be consistent in your communication with the public, and that is how to win the confidence of the taxpayers. We're also trying to present the service as a socially responsible organization through corporate social responsibility activities. The support it gives to indigent individuals, to organizations. You recall that recently the service made a huge donation to the victims of flood in Borno State, and some other key corporate social responsibility projects like that are spread across the country. So in doing that, we are reassuring the public that FRS is not only collecting tax, it's also collecting tax with human face, and it's a socially responsible organization that everybody will do business with.
Let's join Swateku on what's on the net.
Hello, and welcome to What's on the Net. My name is Joyce Swateku. Amina M. Abdullahi on X is asking, thank you for answering my question. My next question is, if a citizen or an entity does not pay taxes, what are the penalties involved? Well, Amina, paying taxes is a civic duty, and failure to comply can lead to serious penalties. Unpaid taxes attract interest from the due date, while late payments may incur fines ranging from 5% to 25% of the owed amount. Violations can result in fines between 50,000 and 500,000 naira, asset seizures, business license revocations, and even imprisonment in severe cases. Credit ratings may also be impacted. Specific penalties include a 10% charge of unpaid company income tax and pay-as-you-earn payee, and a 5% penalty on value-added tax VAT, all with additional interest at the prevailing Central Bank of Nigeria rate. To avoid these consequences, taxpayers should ensure timely payments and seek professional guidance when needed. Akwesin Ola on X is asking, how can I stay up to date with tax laws and changes? So, Seraph the Oracle, you can do that by subscribing to the FIRS journals and newsletters, following the FIRS social media handles, and watching Tax File on TV nationwide. Thank you.
We've explored key insights today. I hope it's been both enlightening and engaging. Until next time, I am Laure Bala Hassan, and this has been Tax File. Stay informed, stay empowered. FIRS, simplifying tax, maximizing revenue.